So here's a real deep cut for everybody and a little bit of a history lesson too. So back in March, we had two listings that were found via Amazon Australia. This was talk of the Transformers Kingdom Golden Disc Collection. It's these Amazon exclusive products that we're probably going to be seeing in the near future. And it was that of a deluxe pterosaur that we talked about and another obscure character. It was that of a, as they listed it here back in March 27th of 2021, Deluxe Ranger Puffer. Now, this led to all kinds of different speculation, people wondering, well, who's this character? What's the story here? The Transformer veterans of the community, me included, pretty much took kinds of guesses. Oh, it could be the Ranger part, could be Road Ranger from the GoBots and doing a color scheme like that. But the Puffer part could be one of the many European variant exclusives of both Huffer and Pipes that have existed. So it could be one or the other. Now we have what seems like a typical off-of-the-line photo here of what is potentially one of these possibilities. We have a robot mode here of a very nice looking Kingdom Huffer / Pipes mold, doing a nice little dance and fusion of the design. In this case, of course, it's a Pipes repaint retool. Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't really see anything else that suggests otherwise, that the Huffer tooling is present in this one. This looks like a Pipes retool through and through, but it's the color scheme that speaks to us more than anything else today. And it's that it's using a color scheme very similar to that of one of the old European releases, more specifically the Cegi, or Cegi as it was called back in the day, European exclusive France Generation 1 Pipes, which used that white and light blue color scheme that the fans have affectionately referred to as Puffer. So what the story was is, due to high demand back in the day, specifically 1986, France needed to have a third-party company kind of help them put out the product for Hasbro and Milton Bradley for the 1986 toy line. They were backed up. They just couldn't get everything out in time. So they had a company called Cegi that would manufacture product and put it out there, and we ended up getting all these unique kind of color schemes and repaints of that of Huffer and other mini-bots. This same company was responsible for the, I guess we'll call it, importing of Diaclone back in 1985, also under the Jostra, but that's a whole other different story. So they put out a bunch of these items. They even did yellow G1 Constructicons long before G2 did. All kinds of weird stuff. And one of these characters was indeed the Puffer repaint. And there's so many variations of this too out there. There's like a one that's, instead of having the white, it's all dark blue. There's just so much. There's so much of it out there. The second you dive into the mini-bot variants from both South America and Europe when it comes to Generation 1, that's almost collecting Transformers in itself. It's pretty nuts. So it pulls from the deep cuts of that origin, and it's quite fascinating, really, when you really look at it, that this exists and that they're going with this kind of color scheme. But when you really think about it, you know, what other repaints can one really do with a Huffer and Pipes? Yeah, you could go with that GoBot homage color scheme from eHobby, which was supposed to be Road Ranger. You could go with a Road Ranger color scheme, like I suggested before, of the straight-up GoBots with the red and blue. You could go with, you know, a TFCon Shafter color scheme. Do we really want to go there? We already did Slitherfang with Toxin. Do we want to go now with Shafter? Who knows? Who knows? But there's only so many that you could really do that would seem appealing. And when you factor it in that it's going to be part of this Golden Disc collection, which is more of a collector-oriented online kind of exclusive stuff, much like how we got the Grimlock from the Voyager Dinobot from Beast Wars in Kingdom, where they're going to do the collector color with a limited line, and they're going to do the more popular color scheme with a more retail line. So I could see that happening. But it's a very interesting and deep cut to go with that color scheme. But at the same time, sure, why not? You got to do something with that mold. It's more just, are you going to do something with that trademark later? That's the better question. Maybe we'll see Ranger Puffer in the future as the GoBot Road Ranger. Who knows? But maybe that's why they called it Ranger Puffer, to kind of cover, both sides of the coin for using that trademark in another 4 years or something. Either way, it is what it is. It's interesting. We only have the robot mode here, but chances are you could probably envision how much of the alt mode is going to look like, because it, just like with the case in Huffer and Pipes, it's going to be completely light blue. There's going to probably be no surprises of retooling there. The question is just really, when is it coming out? How much is it going to cost? Is this going to be difficult? Is this going to be more Amazon headaches? We shall see, but it looks like we're getting the deep cut from Europe of Puffer here in Kingdom.